Hey y'all, welcome to Art of the Budget. My name is Nicole. My pronouns are she and her, and I live in the Pacific Northwest on the traditional unceded territory of the Coast Salish nations. And I've actually shot this video a couple times and I keep confusing myself. And so I just wanted to share that with you. So something I've noticed is now that I'm working a month ahead, for things like going back to my yearly spreadsheet and like I'm trying to talk about the income I brought in this month that was unexpected, but it was actually income I brought in last month. It gets a little confusing. So it's super cool to be a month ahead, but I do notice that it leads to a little bit of confusion. Does that happen to anyone else? Or is it just because I'm sharing my budget online? I don't know. Question, does that happen to anyone else? Barlow, let me know. Okay, so let's get into it. If you're new here, I'm using f.i.r.e, which is a Dave Ramsey product. I'm not a fan of Dave Ramsey, but it does work really well for the way I do my budget. I've been testing out other methods. The spreadsheet methods don't really work for me, even though I used my own spreadsheet. But if anyone knows of any other budgeting software that's kind of similar to this, that's like monthly based, let me know down below. If you are new here, thanks for stopping by. If you're returning, I really appreciate it. If you enjoyed this video, I would love it if you would like it. And if you're interested in talking about art, money, small business stuff, investing, and like fighting or changing capitalism, I would really appreciate it if you would subscribe to my channel. Now let's get into the budget, and I'm going to try to get through this confusing thing that I've confused myself like 3 times on. Okay, so this is the budget for June. So I'm talking about income I got in May. I brought in $5,426, $5,426.84. I was expecting more like 4,000. That includes my adjuncting. And the reason this is so much higher is threefold. One, I didn't have some adjunct income on my previous month's paycheck. And I thought that was because of a change in schedule and contract date, but it turns out it was actually just that my contract hadn't reached HR. So the lost income from the previous month was on this month. Makes sense. Okay, I think the problem is when I say which months and then I get confused. But anyway, in the second paycheck of May, I also had a stipend for some work that I had done that was offered to all adjuncts or to all faculty, a stipend for doing some learning for moving online. And finally, my school also gave everyone a one-time stipend for all of the like all of the purchases or just all of the stuff associated with moving to being online, both teaching online and working online. So yeah, I got a big boost. Despite the fact that I know exactly how much I made in May, I will still be budgeting off of a round number of $5,000. I know that doesn't make much sense to some people, and I bet it makes a lot of sense to other people. I think it comes from all those years of being paycheck to paycheck and just not wanting to be left in the lurch by being too like optimistic. And it doesn't really like make sense now, but it does kind of comfort me. So that's what I'm doing for now. Let me know what you think about that down below. So weird or like you totally get it. All right, so let's go ahead and get through this. I'm just adding something really quick. Going into budgeting for June, I needed to keep a couple things in mind. Number one, for household, we are now responsible for our own lawn care, so I needed to make sure I put enough money in to pay for that, as well as some other household purchases I know are coming up. Number two, I needed to make sure to increase my gas because in addition to going to work most days, I am also hoping to do more adventuring and exploring. I needed to make sure to account for my health and mental health things that I'm doing. I didn't do my FSA this year, and I didn't really allocate a lot of funds toward health for that reason, but I'm now doing that coaching, and while I don't know how long it will last, I need to make sure that I allocate funds for that. And finally, in the grocery area, I have the opportunity to buy an eighth of a cow. I will be splitting a quarter of a cow, and because of that, I need to adjust my grocery budget. Now, last year, my CSA, I did a CSA and I bought a pig, and both of those things were on top of my grocery budget. And so this year, I'm really trying to keep my grocery budget around $300 a month. Obviously, if I need to buy more groceries or spend more money than that, I will. But just as a kind of yearly goal, I'm trying to keep that around, I think it's $3,600. So I will be cash flowing that purchase, and then I will be adjusting my yearly grocery budget to accommodate that. So yeah, I just wanted to add that. Basing this off 5,000. Sharing my income, radical intersectional feminism, sharing my income in 2% to art is same as usual. Savings, nothing exciting going on except for saving my interest. Definitely doing my $500 to my Roth. That is totally automated, so I don't even have to think about it. Household stuff is exactly the same, rent, electricity, etc. Daily living. So this is where it's going to be pretty different. So for groceries, I'm going to up this to $630.69, and that weird number is so that this equals 700. My part of the cow is $480, and so this just leaves me money to get groceries as well. My CSA got postponed. I think it should have started this month, but it's starting in July. So besides this weird month where I'm including this farm purchase, my grocery budget will be a bit lower in general the rest of the summer because I'll be getting the CSA, I'll have this beef, and actually I have still some pork in the freezer, so I should be using that. Restaurants, I'm keeping that at 100. That worked well for me last time. Household, because I've got this extra income, I'm going to drop 100 in here. I do have it marked as a fund, so if I don't spend it all, great. But I have a couple purchases that I know I'm going to make. Maybe I already made them, and I know we're going to have to get our grass cut. Kittles is the normal 125. Scrolling on down, gas is a little different. I'm going to allocate 150. Hopefully that's too much, but we will see. Fun, same as usual, 100. I don't know if maybe, sometimes fun for me is travel and like drive gas to go to the travel. But I don't know if I need to maybe think about upping this. I mean, if I'm going to go over anyway. Rent, auto insurance, same as usual. Renter's insurance, I've decided to just go ahead and whack that rest of it into the savings account so it's ready to pay for it when it's time. So that's going to be up to $75.24, and then for the rest of this period, this year, it's going to be $0. Scrolling down to sinking funds, this is just where I'm allocating the rest of it. Health fund, I'm doing 120, just trying to stay ahead because I'm spending about 120 right now on that coaching. Cat fund always gets like as much as possible, and in this case it's $522.31. Car upkeep, doing a kind of regular 75. Tech fund, I'm doing 100. I mean, I really do need to be a little more careful. I kind of dropped the ball on that this year. Thankfully, I have a brand new phone, and hopefully it will continue to work well. But you just never know. It's like we can't really survive without a phone or a laptop. So if if I were to drop it or if some water were to spill in it, I got to be ready. Obviously, I have an emergency fund, but I love having the sinking fund ready to go. Gifts, I'm doing 150. I got gifts. I got stuff coming up. Winter coat clothing. I guess this is really just clothing now. So I bought a winter coat last year in 2020, and I don't plan to buy another one anytime soon, but just doing the regular 20. Upcoming travel, I went ahead and put 400 in there. I've obviously paid for my rental car and my flight. I'm not planning to spend $1 million out other than that, but always nice to have it. And I do have some like camping fees and stuff coming up. Important stuff, I went ahead and put 100 in because why not? Down payment, I went ahead and put 100 in. And I just wanted to say that for June, down payment was not a high priority. And if I had not received additional income in June, it would have had like $300 and something, $400 maybe. but it has $1,400 in it. And that's pretty awesome. I mean, of course, this was because of things like the stimulus and whatnot, but it still makes me really happy. Um, since I have a little extra, I'm going to go ahead and throw $35.16 into the serotonin boost and then the regular $10 into education. I added this on when I made my yearly budget and I haven't really thought much about it, but hey, that's cool. But I'll throw $10 in there. Of course, there's no payment for my student loans. I'm a public service loan forgiveness person and we are not required to pay right now. We do still get credit for those payments, so I'm doing that. Let me know if you have any questions about that down below. And that's it. That's me for June 2021. Let me know if you've got any big plans in June. And I will see you in the next video. Thanks so much.